This Family Life News podcast is made possible by the support of listeners like you.
Next on the 5 o'clock report.
I hope they don't cancel my flight. Yeah, I need this vacation.
I will not be seeking re-election to Congress.
The public is not happy with the administration of Donald Trump.
Vanya? What's that?
You're in it.
Now, let's go to the newsroom.
Good afternoon and welcome to the broadcast. I'm Family Life News anchor Sarah Harnish. A huge win for President Trump today. The U.S. Supreme Court has cleared the way for Trump's transgender passport policy. For now, you're required to enter your biological sex at birth, even those that self-label as transgender or non-binary. Trump says it's a security issue important for accurate identification. The emergency order will remain in place as the case makes its way through the lower courts, meaning as of right now, there are two genders on all new American passports, male and female. It is day 37 of the government shutdown. The FAA kicked off the day by announcing flight cuts at 40 airports.
I'm not aware in my 35-year history in the aviation market where we've had a situation where we're taking these kind of measures. Then again, we're in new territory in terms of government shutdowns.
The plan could ground thousands of passengers every day. It's set to kick off tomorrow. Secretary of Transportation Sean Duffy says air traffic controllers aren't getting paid. Until they are, they need to keep the skies safe.
It'll take time to get everyone back in the towers. So as they come back online, we'll reopen the airspace. But again, we're about safety. We're about making sure people's flights go from point A to point B and people get on them and off them safely. And we're just, as Americans, going to deal with the gridlock.
Travelers at Detroit's Metro Airport uneasy at the cancellation of 10% of flights.
I hope they don't cancel my flight. Yeah, I need this vacation.
It looks like many people are making a plan B. Hertz says it's seeing an increase of one-way bookings through the weekend. Former Democratic House Speaker Nancy Pelosi says she will not seek re-election next year. The announcement made in a video today.
I want you, my fellow San Franciscans, to be the first to know. I will not be seeking re-election to Congress.
The 85-year-old Pelosi is the only woman to have served as House Speaker. Now to the latest on that fiery UPS plane crash in Kentucky. Louisville's mayor says the bodies of the people known to be dead have been recovered. CBS reporter Nicole Valdez.
Mayor Greenberg now telling reporters that the number of people missing has dropped from initially 15 down to 9. They have located at least 6 people at this point. That is likely very good news in the wake of this tragedy for so many families who are waiting for any update on those loved ones.
President Trump announced today he has reached a deal with 2 major drug companies that could cut the cost of GLP-1 weight loss drugs. Eli Lilly and Novo Nordisk have agreed to slash prices. CBS's Weijia Jiang.
Those drugs can be expensive. Without insurance, about $1,000 a month, but the negotiated price would be about $149 a month in some cases. And so this could be a real game changer because, as we have seen, especially in the past year or so, the popularity of these drugs has exploded.
And the state of Maine regrets to inform you that you are dead. Well, that's not exactly how it was worded, but over 500 members of Maine's largest healthcare network got a shocker in the mail, a letter from Maine Health expressing condolences on their recent demise. That was news to this very much alive woman who told WGME.
It was pretty upsetting to open that. Why would they say I was dead? So it was really shocking and upsetting.
She says she called Maine Health to let them know that she was, in fact, not dead.
And he's like, I'm glad to hear that you're still alive and well. And I'm like, yeah, me too.
Maine Health says it was a computer glitch. They've sent out apology letters to resurrected customers. Still to come on the 5 o'clock report, tens of thousands are still in the dark from all those high winds in New York and Pennsylvania. Kathy Hochul calls on students to help SNAP recipients, and Hochul and Zohran Mamdani are on the same stage tonight in Puerto Rico. Those stories after weather.
I'm Kevin Williams, and here is your Family Life regional weather forecast for tonight. Partly cloudy and chilly. Low temps dropping toward 30 tomorrow. This morning, sun and cloudy with afternoon, evening rain and some gusty winds emerging. High temperatures tomorrow into the 50s. Then on Saturday, A morning shower, otherwise plenty of clouds and high temperatures from the middle 40s to the middle 50s. Rain on Sunday could end to some storm flurries later Sunday night for some.
Thank you, Kevin. Check in the stories making news where you live across New York and Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania and New York are in the top 6 in the country for power outages after the high winds the past 24 hours. Many cities logging more than 60-mile-an-hour gusts. Family Life's Mark Webster has details.
Yeah, at last report, Sarah, still over 30,000 Pennsylvania power customers without service following yesterday's high winds that swept through the area, hitting Northeast PA especially hard, where the most outages remaining are in Wayne and Dauphin counties. Meantime, despite the rain that came along with those winds, several counties in southeast Pennsylvania are facing an elevated fire risk today as drought conditions persist. Mark Webster, Family Life News.
Checking the map, Susquehanna, Wyoming, Lycoming, and Wayne counties in Pennsylvania have the highest outage numbers. In New York, nearly 2,000 are out in Shenango, Broome, and Erie counties. Today marks the 6th day without food money for SNAP recipients because of the government shutdown. A couple of hours ago, New York Governor Kathy Hochul declared a day of hunger action for all Empire State Service Corps students. She's calling on students across the state to coordinate with SUNY staff and assist overwhelmed regional food pantries and food banks. Top New York political figures are gathering in Puerto Rico tonight for the Somos Conference. The list includes Governor Kathy Hochul and New York City Mayor-elect Zohran Mamdani. Both are expected to deliver remarks. That conference is billed as a networking event. Republicans are licking their wounds after stinging defeats in Tuesday's off-year elections. GOP strategist Tim Nealon says Democratic wins across New York reflect a shift in the national mood.
You really see it. The public is not happy with the administration of Donald Trump or the government shutdown. And this, I think, really got them out in what we consider to be an off-year election.
Nealon says Democrats scored big in local elections all over the Empire State. Come January, they'll control the Onondaga County legislature for the first time in 50 years. The city of Greece, outside Rochester, elected its first Democratic supervisor in over 100 years Tuesday night. And Pennsylvania voted to give 3 state Supreme Court justices that are Democrats another 10 years on the bench. Next at 5, high-tech evangelism. A satellite TV company named Sat7 is using technology to reach Muslims. Let's listen in. This is Faith Under Fire. We take you straight to the voices on the front lines of religious battlegrounds. Our own Bob Price interviews Sat7 Vice President Joe Willey. We're talking satellite television Christianity deep in Muslim territory.
Sat7 is Christian television and digital media created in the Middle East and North Africa by those who are Middle Eastern and North African and Turks. It is an opportunity to tell others about Christ in a region that is only 3 to 4% Christian. We make Christian programming by Christians who just happen to be natives to that region. We have presenters, especially those who are Iranian or Afghan, who once they are on the air and once they are shown, they really cannot go home again. And so that's the dedication that we have. Some of my colleagues who have said, I'm going to follow Christ. I'm going to tell people that are like me about Christ, and I may have consequences, but I'm still going to follow what I believe God's calling me to do.
Wow. Are you making any inroads, Joe, as far as changing lives with the message of hope that's only found in Jesus?
One of the great things about Sat7 is not only does it broadcast on satellite or digital media, but Sat7 also has a team of employees, we call them the viewer support teams, who answer questions. This may be by WhatsApp or this may be social media, but there are people who are saying, wait, I've always heard Christians are like this, but you're showing me something different. Why are you different? Who is Jesus? Not as a prophet, which a Muslim would say, yes, there is Jesus, Isa, But what is this about the Son of God? Isn't this blasphemy? You're saying that by faith in him, I can have my sins forgiven? Explain this to me. It's really powerful. We've had people, they're Christians, they're alone. We call them isolated believers because they're surrounded by people who do not share their faith, and they don't have resources. They don't have discipleship resources. So what we try to do also is, with our programming, support them so by the grace of God, they'll be able to stand firm in their faith. We're not called to have an incredible apologetic that someone would say, you know what, you win the argument. What we are called to do is share the truth of the gospel. Amen. We're called to share the truth of God's word. And instead of saying, let me rebut every point someone may make, we simply share what God has done for us. We share what God is doing, who he is, and his word. I liken it to someone being trained to spot counterfeit money, handling true money, handling the real thing. And then they will be able to spot the counterfeit.
You can subscribe, listen to, and share Faith Under Fire and all of Family Life's original podcasts at Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, or at familylife.org.
Jesus warns that money competes with God for our loyalty. Hi, I'm Rob West with the Faith and Finance Minute. Money often gives us a false sense of power and control. Instead of seeing ourselves as stewards, we begin to live as if we're owners. That's why we must guard our hearts carefully. In an article for the National Christian Foundation, Lauren Terrell offers practical ways to resist money's pull. One is to take a mission trip, shifting your focus to the needs of others. Another is to give first. Earmark a portion of your income for generosity before spending on yourself. She calls it learning to hold money with an open palm instead of a clenched fist. Both practices remind us that God deserves first place in our lives, and our money should serve him, not the other way around. Connect with a certified Kingdom advisor who's been trained to deliver financial advice that aligns with your Christian values by visiting our website, faithfi.com.
Coming up on the 5 o'clock report, some news and a milestone on the book The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. We've got more after one last look at weather.
I'm Kevin Williams, and here is your Family Life regional weather forecast. We have a cold, quiet night ahead. Our next weather maker arrives tomorrow. It's low pressure and an attending front that'll bring mainly afternoon, evening rain and wind. The next system comes in Sunday. That brings rain, but in its wake, the coldest air of the season to date, early in the season, of course. So that'll mean some lake effect snow for some parts of our region early next week. The call for tonight, partly cloudy and chilly. Low temps dropping toward 30 tomorrow. Some morning sun and cloudy with afternoon, evening rain and some gusty winds emerging. High temperatures tomorrow into the 50s. Then on Saturday, a morning shower, otherwise plenty of clouds and high temperatures from the middle 40s to the middle 50s. Rain on Sunday could end to some storm flurries later Sunday night for some.
All right, Kevin, finally at 5, C.S. Lewis's The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe is 75 years old today, a biblical allegory with a timeless theme.
What are you doing here?
Well, I was hiding the wardrobe in the spare room.
Is that Narnia?
Narnia? What's that?
Oh, dear girl, you're in it. Every stick and stone you see, every icicle is Narnia.
It's an awfully big wardrobe.
Lewis's original story was first published in the fall in 1950, a tale he penned for his goddaughter Lucy. It's part 1 of the 7-part Chronicles of Narnia written by Lewis, a one-time ardent atheist who later became one of its most foremost apologists.
Over time, and through the influence of several close Christian friends at Oxford, including J.R.R. Tolkien, author of The Lord of the Rings, Lewis came to believe that the story of Christ was not merely a myth. It was instead a historical reality. When Christ took on flesh, Lewis later wrote, myth became fact.
And the exciting news, Netflix is currently developing a new adaptation on the book, set to debut next fall. And that's the world that we live in for Thursday, the 6th of November. I'm Sarah Harnish, and this is the 5 o'clock report on Family Life.
Thank you for listening to this Family Life News podcast. If you've been encouraged by what you've heard, please share it with others and click the subscribe button to automatically receive future episodes. Family Life is a listener-supported ministry. Podcasts like this are made possible by your financial partnership. Find out more at familylife.org.